If you're looking into time blocking and you're looking for an app to help you time block, you're in the right place. I'm gonna show you our top 5 picks for best time blocking apps. These aren't really in any specific order. They all have their strengths and weaknesses for different situations. So we'll talk about when you should use each one. The first thing I'm gonna talk about all have a pretty similar style. It's what you would normally think of for a time blocking app where you can have your tasks and your calendar and just drag tasks into the calendar. They do have some differences though. So the first one we're looking at here is Morgen. And like I was saying, we have our tasks over here on the left, and then we have our calendar, and it makes it really easy to just drag things straight into the calendar. And it's gonna take the duration that that task is and account for that in the calendar and block off that time. One thing that I really like with Morgen is I can show my deadlines on my calendar. So I've got my submit application deadline on Thursday, and I've dragged it into my calendar on Monday. So it just makes it really easy to see when things are scheduled and when they're due. Really the standout feature of Morgen is Morgen Assist. It's these set of workflows that you can enable for your calendars that help you with time blocking. So for example, here we've got automatically calculating travel time. If you put in an event with a location, it will automatically calculate how much time it's gonna take you to get there and block off time. I've done that here with my lunch event. I put a location on that event and it automatically blocked off time knowing how long it would take me to get to that location. Super cool. And then other automations like adding buffer time after meetings, and then they've got a bunch more coming as well. You can also write your own workflows with code to automate other aspects of your calendar. Morgen has a free basic plan, and then they have a pro plan, which is $15 a month. And that gets you more advanced features like the Morgen Assist automation. Next up, we're gonna talk about Akiflow. Akiflow is like Morgen, where you can take tasks and drag them into your calendar, and it's a really slick platform, so let's take a look. We're in Akiflow here, and you'll notice a lot of similarities, like we have the task list over here on the left, and then we've got our calendar, and we can drag things in, and this one's actually connected to my Todoist account, so I can drag tasks straight into the calendar here. One thing I really like about Akiflow is slots, and I'll show you how that works. So normally when I'm time blocking, I can just drag tasks into my calendar and time block them normally. But if I have like a project or something where I just wanna say maybe 3 to 5 p.m., I just wanna work on this project, and here are the tasks during that time, this is how you would do that. So I'm gonna drag from 3 to 5, and we'll change this to slot. And I'll just say, let's just say coding. We're working on a coding project for those 2 hours. Now I could just leave it at that, and that's my time block, but I'm gonna actually drag some tasks into that time. So let me move my camera here. I've got these tickets I wanna work on during that time. So, I could time block them normally, or just drop them into that slot. And here are the things I'm going to work on during that time. I've seen a lot of people online asking for app recommendations that do specifically that. So if you're looking for an app that will allow you to time block regularly and put things into slots or projects, Akiflow is the app for you. Akiflow is one of the more expensive time blocking apps. So this one is at $34 per month, and there's no free plan. But if you're looking for a really slick time blocking experience, this is a really good option. While we're on this theme, let's talk about Sunsama. It's another app that allows you to drag tasks into your calendar, and it takes a little bit more of a mindful approach and has some assisted scheduling as well. So here we've got the default view of Sunsama. You've kind of got a board here with all of your different days, and then you've got your calendar for the day over here on the side where you can drag tasks right into the calendar. Now, probably my favorite feature of Sunsama is the assisted planning. You can just hover over a task and press X on your keyboard, and it will put it right into your calendar. Let's see where that went. Perfect, put it in 8 o'clock because I have an hour there. And I can do that with all of these. I'll just hit X, boom, fills that slot right there. One thing that's cool about these tasks in Sunsama is it'll automatically reschedule tasks if it detects a conflict between 2 tasks. So for example, if I have this fix bugs task at 1 to 2, and actually I went and walked my dog during my lunch break, it's going to recognize that conflict and instantly change fix bugs. It says 1 task auto rescheduled. So pretty cool. Another thing that stands out about Sunsama is they take a mindful approach to time blocking and time management in general. So for example, we've got this weekly planning feature where I can go in here and say my different objectives for the week. And then same thing for daily planning. I can get this very focused view that helps me plan my day. So it looks like we're planning tomorrow, and it's gonna walk me through scheduling some tasks. I can roll over today's task to tomorrow, and it's gonna tell me a little bit about my predicted workload for tomorrow. I can move stuff over if I want. So it takes a more mindful approach to planning and walks you through some of these time blocking processes. For pricing, Sunsama does not have a free plan, but it is a lot cheaper than Akiflow at $20 a month, more in the range of Morgen. Okay, so those 3 apps we just looked at, Morgen, Akiflow, and Sunsama, really awesome apps that are designed primarily for dragging tasks into your calendar and manually time blocking with some assisted planning in some cases. For people that have tried time blocking before and just think it's too cumbersome or tedious arranging all of the tasks and constantly moving things around, a smart calendar that does all the time blocking for you might be the best option for you. FlowSavvy is a smart calendar where you can just tell it what your tasks are and it will find time for all of your tasks. If anything comes up, it'll shift around, always knowing what your optimal schedule is. I'll show you an example here. So we've got FlowSavvy and I've got a bunch of tasks in here already, but if I want to add another task, I don't necessarily drag it into the calendar or add it to my to-do list. I just tell FlowSavvy when this task can be done, and then it figures out where to put that in my calendar amongst my other due dates and priorities. So let's say I have to submit a report. So I'm gonna leave Smart Scheduled on, so FlowSavvy finds the best time for me. I'll say I need an hour during work hours. Let's say, yeah, this is a high priority and it needs to be done sometime before Tuesday. So I can just set up all these parameters and then click add, and it's gonna find the best time for me, which is gonna be Monday. Since it's a higher priority, it's putting it earlier in the day. Now, if something comes up, like let's say some meeting ends up taking the whole morning, it's going to reschedule and move everything else out of the way. And if I keep moving this around, it's going to keep adjusting that for me, always making sure I have time for that task and all of my other tasks. This is a really good option for people that don't want to deal with all of the decision making and tediousness of time blocking. You just throw everything in and it'll spit out your calendar for you. If you want to drag tasks around manually to adjust what the calendar's given you, you could still do that and it'll just readjust everything else around those tasks. For pricing, FlowSavvy has a free forever plan that gets you the core auto scheduling features. And then for more advanced features, you can upgrade to the Pro plan, which is $7 a month. So one of the more affordable time blocking apps. The 4 apps we've looked at so far are really powerful tools, but they might be overkill for some use cases. So if you're just looking for a really simple time blocking app, this next app is going to be the app for you. It's called Structured, and it's actually not available on Windows or web. So I'll switch to my MacBook and let's take a look. All right, this is Structured, and right off the bat, you can see it's really simple. We've got our main view here, which is actually not like a typical calendar. It's more of a timeline view. So it just shows all of your tasks in order, and you can see the time right next to them. Same kind of concept though, I can drag tasks from the inbox over here into my calendar. So let's do that. I'll say practice guitar. Let's do that from, let's drop it in here. And then I'll just drag these other ones in here as well. So you can see it's a very simple time blocking experience. And if I want, I can come into each of these tasks and edit the exact details, things like duration, color. But other than that, that is pretty much the gist of Structured. One thing to mention is they do have an AI assistant on the Pro plan where you can just talk to it and say, hey, tomorrow I'll wake up at 8, brush my teeth, take a shower, and then get dressed, and it'll kind of take those things and put them into your calendar for you. So you still have to tell it when to do everything, but it's gonna speed up that input process. For pricing, Structured comes in at $5 a month, or they also have a lifetime plan, which would be $50. Those are our top 5 picks for best time blocking apps. So in summary, if you like the manual approach where you're dragging and dropping tasks into your calendar, and you want really comprehensive apps, check out Morgen, Akiflow, and Sunsama. If you want a smart calendar that does all the time blocking for you and automatically adjusts as plans change, check out FlowSavvy. And if you want a really simple time blocking app or you really like that timeline view, definitely check out Structured. Let me know if you found this helpful in the comments, or if you have any questions, you can drop those in the comments below as well. And thanks for watching.